Legacy. So many people strive their entire lives to leave one. Whether through heritage or deed, we all seek to be remembered after we're gone. But for some, legacy goes beyond just being remembered. For some, like Clinton and Mary Potter, legacy meant changing the lives around them. It meant impacting the world around them. It was in 1901 when Clinton and Mary Potter first established Potter Bible College in Bowling Green, Kentucky, in memory of their only son, Eldon S. Potter. For 11 years, the college operated under the direction of James Harding. But in 1913, the decision was made to close the college. Seeking to continue their giving to the community, the Potters decided to turn the existing buildings and property into a home for orphan children, and thus the Potter Orphan Home and School was established. On February 4th, 1915, J.H. Hines became the first superintendent of Potter Orphan Home. It would be he who would usher in Potter's first residents. The first children to live in Potter were 12 orphan children from Portland Avenue Church of Christ in Louisville, Kentucky. These 12 children would be the first of many whom the Potter's legacy would impact greatly. Since the doors first opened, Potter Children's Home and Family Ministries has provided a home for more than 7,000 children. Though Potter has been successful in its attempts to help children, it has not been exempt from its own troubles and tribulations. The 1930s would claim both Clinton and Mary Potter. In the early 1940s, Potter was struck with a number of tragedies through fires that would claim much of the campus. One such fire destroyed the superintendent's home. At the time of the fire, Superintendent F.H. Woodward and his family were living in the home. Not only was the family's possessions destroyed, but one of the rooms in the home was used as an office for the orphanage and had all the records kept there. Everything was lost. In June of 1943, tragedy struck again when the three-story building, originally known as the College Building, was lost to another fire. Money was tight, but the insurance company gave everything they possibly could to rebuild. The first brick of the new dormitory was laid February 12, 1945. In the 1950s, recreational areas were added to each end of the new building, the girls on one end and the boys on the other. In the 1960s, a cafeteria annex and a new laundry facility was built to help accommodate the growing numbers of residents. It was also during this time that Potter began to provide a new form of child care, known as a group care system, to provide a more family-like setting for the children. It became a quick success, and the first group home was built in 1966 and was named after longtime supporter W.L. Toddy. The 70s and 80s would see the continued growth of the campus in the additions of the Bonner McIntyre Gym, a new administration building, and several conversions of buildings from one use to another. As time has progressed into the new century, so has Potter Home, inasmuch as its new attempts to build modern, modular housing for families. And thus, in 2009, the first single-parent triplex was completed. And in 2014, the first single-parent quadplex was completed during the 100th year of Potter as a children's home.
We have provided a home for thousands of children, and in recent years, single parents as well as their own children.
Almost every congregation that I get to go visit and speak with about Potter Children's Home, there will be somebody there inevitably who has either been part of the children's home or knows somebody that's part of the children's home.
And as we look back on the things that have led to this point, we are really encouraged to know that we have had such great support and such great encouragement from so many people and so many churches.
It now offers multiple ministries to those in need.
The foster care program is designed to help children who are in need of an out-of-home placement.
The kids that come to us in our foster care come from various backgrounds as well, and they've had tough lives.
When the kids first get here, the first emotion they experience is fear. They're kind of lost. They don't know what's going on, and we do our best to make them feel welcome and feel loved. And usually within 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, they start sensing that, and they realize that we're here to help them and protect them.
And then if they can ever reach that point, we can start trying to build their faith toward what is biblical truth.
Each child is provided a counselor to help them work through the significant issues in their life.
One of the great things I think about Potter is that we don't just treat a child's history. We don't just treat the past that has happened to them, but we prepare them for the future.
Our foster families provide a place of security and regularity.
You actually can drive through the campus and see a foster parent sitting on a step with a Bible in their hand and a kiddo sitting beside of them, and they're reading those stories, and you see the joy on those children's faces as that adult Christian person really reads that story and makes it come alive. It touches your heart. You can't keep but just swell up inside with the joy that you know Christ is bringing into people's lives as you see that.
Our other ministry supports single parent families who are often under financial and emotional strain and needing significant assistance. The ministry for single parents is the Single Parent Alliance for Raising Kids, or SPARK.
The ministry for the SPARK program is so important because not only are we reaching out to the children, but we're reaching out to the moms too.
The moms that come here, a lot of times they've been in abusive situations, or they're at the end of their rope. They don't really know where to turn. A lot of times they can't turn to their family unit. So they come to us and we provide them a safe place.
My mom had nowhere to go, so we had nowhere to go. We were living in Murray and had nowhere else to go. And then we found out through the churches of Christ that, hey, there's, Potter Children's Home, and they will help you with this, in the SPARK program. They'll help you get back on your feet, give you an education, and help take care of the kids at the same time.
We've had single parents who have been living in cars come to us. We've had single parents who have had nothing.
Before Potters, I didn't have a life, but now I have a life of my own. I have a future. I have plans.
Well, the SPARK program for me allowed me to be able to go to school, and I am going to school full-time and I have a job part-time. My kids are able to go to soccer because they help us get them to and from, and I'm able to pay for it because we live here for free because they help us.
Well, when you see a mom and her children come into Potter and become a part of this family that's created here with a lot of the baggage that they bring with them, the pain, the hurt, and then once they go through the program, they see that they're meeting their goals, they're accomplishing good things, and sometime later, once they achieve that, they go back out into the world to establish their own lives again, and you see them become successful, having graduated from the trade school or maybe WKU, and be successful with that. It brings a great deal of joy into your heart.
While staying at Potter, single parents are provided with the basic needs of housing, utilities, food, counseling, parental advice, daycare assistance, and daily problem solving. Each parent establishes and reaches for goals in their life with the ultimate goal of being independent.
It offers everything that you need to start a new life. For me, the most important was therapy.
All of the residents here are provided counseling, they're provided a place to live with utilities and food from the pantry, as well as training in other areas and in areas of education.
At some point they have to decide what they want to do the rest of their lives, so we help them and guide them down that path so they can get the education that they need. and become sufficient that they can support their families on their own when they leave here.
I wouldn't be in a better spot if it weren't for Potters. Like, I'm in a really great spot right now, spiritually and financially and all of the above. It's really great being here.
I want to say the Potters is a great place to be if you want to get on your feet and you want to keep going for your family.
Though Potter has seen success in its ministries, its staff and board are still constantly moving and thinking about the future.
Potter Children's Home was begun with the mission of serving children, and it has been successful to this point by staying true to that mission. I really believe that that's the key to the next 100 years, is to continue to stay focused on serving children, serving families, using the resources that are available to us, and in everything we do to lean on God to guide our steps, to help us to go into the next 100 years with confidence, knowing that if we are doing His will, that He will help us to succeed.
The people who have given from their hearts, our supporters, those folks who see that we're accomplishing something really, really good in the lives of people as they continue to give and support Potter. We know that whatever our goals are, whatever challenges, whatever new programs, whatever new buildings we decide that need to be put upon this campus, God will see to it that we get it done.
We believe that if God wants this ministry around, that it will be around, it will stick around. We believe that so long as we follow His word and do everything to glorify God, that this children's home will last as long as He wants it to last. And I pray that it does last 100 years. We've got plans that'll take us through the next 100 years.
Plans for the future include the building of more housing for single parents, complete renovation of the dorm building, and conversion of other buildings on campus. However, these changes only happen with the help and the support of the community.
The key to the success of the home in the first 100 years has been God giving people the desire to help children.
And so we need people who believe in us and who will trust us to use their finances and their time faithfully and carefully.
The fact that Potter's been here for so long and people are aware of the work that we do, we have a good name in the community.
Consistently through the years, Potter's focus has been to minister to children and families the way God desires.
We are a Christian organization, and that is a part of all that we do. Now, we don't ever want to, and we don't ever try to shove the Bible down children's throats and force them into trying to believe something or conform in those ways.
I grow spiritually a lot in here. I learned to have a relationship with God and to love Him and accept and to love myself through God.
Well, it helped me spiritually. I started out as a kid, so we stayed in the church. So I learned about God through all my life, and so I've kept that through the time I've lived here.
Potter's legacy has and always will be that it is providing justice and mercy to the children and families in need. But there are still so many in need. If you aren't a part of this effort, why not begin now as the home begins its second century?
I wonder if Clinton and Mary Potter ever dreamt 100 years ago when they began this home, what it would become in 100 years. We believe that if we keep the focus where it needs to be, then if we keep God as one who is glorified by what goes on here, that this home will continue another 100 years and another 100 years and so on until Jesus returns.